You guys, I had a few people come to ask about color. So I'm just going to do a few little tips and recommendations based around color on this one little small segment really, really quick. Okay, you guys? So some of the things that was asked was, could you get sister locks right before, or could you get color right before your sister locks installation? Preferably, I would recommend that you do not. The reason why I prefer that you do not do color right before your installation is because the hair tends to break a little bit more because you can't get the things that the hair absolutely needs, like your protein and moisture because of the sister locks beginning journey. The second reason is because we ask you guys to use a clarifying shampoo, which is consistently stripping the hair. So we prefer that you guys don't do a color treatment because A, your color is gonna be looking ugly, okay? And then number two is because of damage. And I say that because a lot of people don't understand clarifying shampoo, but it strips all of the oils out and it actually strips the color out too as well. So you'll find yourself with a instead of a vibrant red, but with a dusty kind of dull red. Okay, and not even just only that, it really does damage the journey because your hair starts to break a little bit, or it tends to shed. All right, and it tends to shed because you're not able to put anything on that hair. All right. Only thing you putting on there again is your clarifying shampoo. You ain't add no moisture in there. You ain't putting no protein in there, so you definitely ain't doing a conditioner. So with that being stated, that's why I don't recommend getting lighter. Let's say that before an establishment. Now, if you're looking to take that hair darker, I'm less likely to put up a fight. But if you are going to color the hair before an establishment, give it a couple of months so that you can actually treat your hair properly. Olaplex is a great treatment, and you definitely can talk to your local stylist about an Olaplex treatment, which is pretty much the only thing on the market that goes inside further than a deep conditioning treatment. And it actually rebuilds what it is that you tear down or relink the bonds that you tear down. So this is really, really important when you are doing a damaging process like a color treatment. And no matter how wonderful the stylist is, you're going to incur some type of damage. The next thing is at the beginning of your establishment, if you move forward without doing a color, what would be an efficient time or a great time for you to do a color? Well, don't be mad at me or the messenger, but I do want to say that you probably gonna have to wait a while. I recommend that a person is completely locked prior to starting a color service. Again, it's because for one, it takes 1 to 2 years sometimes for the hair to actually lock. For number two, it takes time for it to mature. And then even after it matures, you still have some that's still at the end that's still a little loose because the ends are like the it takes the longest to lock. So with that being stated, you're going to be dyeing your hair or bleaching your hair with some of it matted in the lock and then the ends loose. So it just you may have to go to an extreme great colorist. Okay, number one, or you're gonna have to make sure that when you're lightening that hair because the hair is clustered up, really really thick. You're trying to get your lightener on the inside. Okay, and so that means that the ends that are loose they are individual hairs, so they're gonna lift a lot faster. So what I do traditionally see is the ends getting a lot lighter, or the ends wind up shedding or experiencing more damage than the rest of the locks itself, because a lot of people don't truly know how to do a color service. The next thing, once you do a color service, you do need to talk to your loctician about how you're going to maintain that color service. And when I say that, I mean using some type of cream base because with Sister Locks, they have a reconstructive conditioner. And you also can make a leave-in with their moisture treatment too as well. So you will need to do something additional and not necessarily be doing the same thing that you were doing at the beginning of your lock session. So that also means move up in stages in your shampoo to maybe like the salon shampoo or the green tea, which offers a lot more moisture than that clarifying shampoo, and it doesn't strip. So these are going to be some things for you to think about. I also noticed that a few people like to get color services and they don't really understand the matrix of the color. And when I say that, I mean if you're going to be in a rush and you're going to decide, well, if I can't do anything, I'll just dye black. And then in 6 months, I'm gonna lift it the bright pink. It don't work like that. It's really hard to get that black out. So you really have to be patient, and you have to be very I ain't gonna say very. I'm just gonna say you have to know what it is the end goal is. So if you want to lift your hair, and you eventually want to go back to darker colors, I would say do all my light colors first, and then do my dark color at the end when I'm done. Because if you start off by just throwing in your dark color and then try to push it to a nice light color, it's not gonna work. And you're gonna have issues with lifting. And what happens with those issues with lifting is just that the black may not come out. So they may leave that lightening on there or that lightener on there. And then what tends to happen is that it eats up the rest of the hair because you have left it on too long. Because sometimes your hair wind up being dyed, okay, when you're using color. So even though you're doing a chemical change on the inside, if you're using like a jet black, sometimes it stains your hair. So therefore, it's hard to get that color completely out, or it won't lift as light anymore. Okay. So it's good to know that prior to getting started. Another thing is know which type of lightener you're going to use or what type of chemical service you're going to use. A lot of people think that you can jump in between a natural gradual color, which means like those hennas, things that doesn't have any ammonia in it to make it move. So they may feel as though they can jump in between. Prior to deciding which color treatment you want to do, you also want to know whether you want to do a gradual color service or do you want to use an ammonia color service. If you choose to go towards a color service with chemicals and then turn around and let's say a year from now you want to go all natural and you don't want to put any type of chemicals in your hair, period, and you choose to use a gradual, like a henna, your hair could fall out. Or like a Beijing, your locks can completely come out. I've seen it done at beauty school, literally. Her lady was washing her hair and her locks was coming out inside the sink, and that's because she didn't know the color that she was using. So if I could give out any advice, I definitely would let you guys know. Make sure that you guys record the products that you're putting in, the colors that you're putting in, and the type of way that it is chemically changing your hair. Okay. So whether it's like an ammonia base or a two-step process where you're mixing it, or is it a straight henna or a dye, or a Beijing, okay, that naturally changes the color. So whichever one you start with, you want to finish with. So that's the advice that I have you guys today. The next thing too as well, please, okay, it's just a few things that most cosmetologists know, but since some of y'all are dying at home, I just feel the need to go over this with you guys. If you already lighten your hair and you're just refreshing it, one thing or two things, okay? If you're refreshing the ends on the color or whatever, like meaning it's already light and let's say it's red, but it's bleeding out completely and now it don't look like it's pink, okay? You're gonna take it back to red again. You don't need to do the chemical process to where you lighten your hair all over again. And some people will go get the box color and just redo everything. It's not a need to do that if it's already lightened. You could just get a direct dye, okay? And you could just apply it directly to your hair. So anything is applied directly from the tube to your hair is a direct dye. The reason why is because some of y'all keep putting ammonia on them, keep putting ammonia on them, keep putting ammonia on them. And it is the same amount of space. So meaning, like mine, if I put another box of ammonia or lift it, it would be on my root because my red already has the color that I need. It's already lightened, so I will refresh just the color. So that means I will get direct red and I will put it only on my ends. If you need to redo your color and you want your new growth to be the same color as your ends, that's completely fine. But what you're not going to do is pull that ammonia based product through your locks. You are going to stop only at the part to where the color or line of demarcation is, okay? So that means that color or lightening will only come to here. You're just gonna put direct dye there. Okay? You have to make sure that you're getting good with this because I see that people are reapplying it, and they wonder why their locks are popping off, shedding, and they look in bad shape. And it's simply because of the color process. So you have to make sure that you are, coloring properly, or at least look at a few YouTube videos so that you can understand the basics that comes with it, and then you can go from there. This mostly has been They, I'm sorry, I was making sure we didn't have no comments. Okay, because I be checking. Okay, I be checking. But anyway, I just want to make sure we have no comments. But I just want to make sure y'all completely understand what's needed, or at least the basics of coloring, before y'all just jump up in there and just be doing y'all own thing in the kitchen. Okay? Because some of y'all, again, your locks be shedding and popping off, and you don't know why, and that's absolutely why. Okay? There's too much colors or chemicals going on. Again, even if you don't go to somebody, make sure that you are adjusting your products that you're using, because again, your hair will need more when you go through the breakdown process. Okay. Other than that, I think this was a great color video. Oh, also another thing too. Make sure y'all watch out the color. That is a big thing that I don't see, and it's not really nothing bad, but you do need to make sure that you're getting all of that color out, because you don't want to leave anything in the active. Okay. So make sure that you get a lot of rinses going on to get that color out, and make sure that you continuously start shampooing in cold water to resist or the pulling of the color. So meaning to reduce how much it bleeds in the shower, or when you shampoo it, just make sure that you shampoo on cold water. Okay, and this also closes up the cuticle to retain. Okay, so just make sure you try those little few things. Look for some protein, because you definitely want to do that. And if you do start using any type of a conditioner, and this, I'm just letting you know, because sister, I say we throw out other things, but I just want to say, if you are going to be defiant, I am going to say this: make sure that you take a quarter size amount, emulsify, rub it together, and you rub it through your entire head. Your locks or your hair is going to absorb only what it needs. If it doesn't need it, it's not going to absorb it. So it's no point to put in all that can half a conditioner can in your hair, when you only gonna use what your locks are only gonna absorb what it's gonna absorb, and everything else will sit there and cause buildup. So that is another reason why it's really important to make sure that you only put a quarter size. Okay, don't do it. If you're looking for Sister Love products, the best products that I kind of like, or you would need after color surface, is going to be definitely the reconstructive conditioner, because that has the protein. And then I also say the moisture treatment, because your locks will feel dry afterwards. So if you do a color surface, especially if you go darker, you will feel more drier. But do not overly compensate by putting overly moisturizing products in your hair. Okay, so try to keep that baseline to keep that together. Okay, keep it together, keep it synchronized. If you guys have any other questions, y'all know y'all definitely can check us out on Facebook at Be Natural Arts or Tamika Clark. Y'all can definitely check out our our website. If you would like to book with any stylist, or anyone from our directories page, and that's going to be Natural Arts, and that's www.bee natural natural locks locks.com. And then we have a Queen Bees page there, and you're definitely able to see people in your local area that can service you for not just Sister Locks, but a couple of services. If you have a business, definitely get in contact with us so that we can add you on to our directory. Y'all have a great day, and we wish y'all the best. Peace. Y'all stay doing this. I can never figure out what the end button is.